to me, and no.
Chapter 5. When Titans Collide. Chapter 5-1. The power of true invincibility. Let's see how he handles all of us at once, Ace declares. Everyone except Sabrina nods in agreement. They circle brute shot, weapons aimed. Sabrina hangs back, her eyes narrowing as she scans the battlefield. The others charge, blades and staffs striking with everything they have, but brute shot stands motionless. Sparks scatter uselessly off his metallic armor. His armor. It's harder than before, Barry exclaims, eyes wide with shock. Yes, and that's thanks to your last attack. Brute shot growls before slamming his cannon arm into Barry's face. The strike launches him across the park, crashing through a nearby building. Sabrina reels at the sudden display of brute force, her eyes widening in shock. Brute shot pivots toward the others and fires a blast into the ground, the impact tearing up earth and forcing them to retreat. His voice is cold, dripping with menace. My body is adaptive. The more damage it takes, the stronger it becomes. Pain only makes me harder to kill. Of course, there's always a catch. Why can't you guys just die? Ace mutters, his tone light, but his eyes sharp, never losing focus. Barry staggers back into formation, clutching his side, yet refusing to falter. His glare cuts through the pain, blade steady and ready for another strike. Brute shot smirks. Resistance is futile. He lowers his arm toward Ace, energy crackling at the cannon's core. Behold the power of true invincibility. He lunges with impossible speed, ramming his shoulder into Ace's gut. The impact drives him into the ground. Sue reacts, her staff glowing with purple light. But when she locks eyes with Brute Shot, nothing happens. Not again, she yells in frustration. Brute Shot smirks and fires a missile from his left arm. Sue is hit head-on as the blast tears the ground apart around her. Did you really think this would end any other way? He sneers. He leaps high into the air, charging a massive blast that threatens to wipe out the fallen below. Suddenly, a kick slams into his back with crushing force. Sabrina's boot hurls him across the park into a shack that explodes into splinters. She lands gracefully, sword cocked at her side. Are you done gloating? She asks coldly. Brute Shot rises from the rubble, stunned. I didn't even see that sneak attack coming. Clever. With a body like yours, Sabrina says, her voice sharp as steel, gravity is your worst enemy. Her sword bursts with radiant, white-colored light, power coursing through her veins as she focuses harder. The stone fragment embedded in the blade stirs, awakening something deep inside her, merging with her very essence. She pulls the weapon back, eyes blazing, and slashes forward with fierce resolve. Let's put that invincibility to the test, shall we? The weapon shines brighter than the midday sun, flaring so violently that spheres of light split from its aura and streak toward Brute Shot. Heat ripples through the park. The blasts hammer his armor, detonating across his chest. Sabrina's eyes drop to the glowing symbol etched into her sword. The energy from Barry's sword feels like decay, but this one feels calm, almost peaceful, she says to herself. Brute Shot glares at Sabrina, rage burning in his eyes. Enough! It's time I put you down for good. Sabrina shuts out his words. Behind her, the others stagger back to their feet, battered but unbroken. She steadies her breath, fingers tightening around the hilt. Focusing every ounce of will, she draws on the strange energy once more. In a flash, she blurs forward and unleashes a strike at point-blank range. The sword flares, explosions tearing across Brute Shot's frame. His shoulder splits open with a searing crack. He staggers, roaring in pain as molten heat burns inside the wound. Arg, you little, he yells. Sabrina's shoulder rams him into the ground and plants her foot on his chest, blade pressed to his throat. His armor hisses and melts beneath the heat. Desperation twists his features. He raises his left cannon to fire, but she drives her sword straight through it, crippling the weapon. A brutal kick slams him back down. No wonder Draken wants those stones so badly, he mutters in defeat. Even a fragment grants such overwhelming power. Sabrina leans in, her blade pressed to Bruteshot's neck. Barry, Ace, and the others close in, weapons ready. Just as she raises her sword for the finishing strike, Ace catches her wrist. "Wait, we need answers," Ace says firmly. Sabrina hesitates. 3 seconds, Bruteshot. Tell us where Draken is, or your head becomes a metal soccer ball. You're a bigger fool than I thought if you think I'll... Bruteshot's words cut off with a howl as Sabrina drives her glowing blade deep into the other side of his chest. Sparks fly as his metal shell sizzles under the heat. Ace smirks. "You're being dramatic. At the end of the day, you're just a giant circuit board. How can you even feel pain?" "I am not some machine, you fool," Bruteshot snaps. "Beneath my cybernetics, I carry flesh just like you." Sabrina's eyes narrow. If he won't talk, there's no point dragging this out. Her blade rises, gleaming with deadly intent. For the first time, Bruteshot's defiance cracks. Fear flickers in his eyes. "Stop. Fine. You win." He sputters, panic cracking his voice. "I'll talk. Just spare me." Sabrina freezes, the glowing blade's tip hovering inches from his face. Her eyes narrow. "So, even you know fear," she says evenly. "I'm listening." He said he was searching for the Harpoonian princess to unlock the stones. "They didn't tell me where they were going, I swear." "Stones?" Barry presses, his voice tight. "You're telling me he has both of them?" Bruteshot stays silent, his expression unreadable. Ace exhales, his jaw tightening. "Great. We're screwed." Clayton steps forward, his voice steady and commanding. "Then tell us what you know about the power in these swords." "The swords? That isn't where the power lies. It's the stone fragment embedded in them." Bruteshot gulps, his defiance cracking. "You wield it, just like she did." "Who?" Sabrina presses, her voice sharp. He refuses to meet her eyes, his tone low and grim. "Those fragments? They're pieces of something far older than this world, older than anything you could ever comprehend." "I knew it," Ace mutters with a half grin. "These things aren't from Earth." Barry frowns, his grip tightening on his blade. "Then why does the Sword of Light respond only to Sabrina? And why am I drawn to this darker one?" Bruteshot shrugs bitterly. "How should I know? Maybe it's in your DNA, written into what you are." "What?" Barry snaps. Bruteshot sighs heavily while rising to his feet. "You really are clueless. Every living being is born with spiritual energy inside them. That energy is forged from elements left over from the creation of the universe. And some of you..." He pauses, his gaze flicking uneasily to Sabrina. "Carry elements tied to an essence older than the universe themselves." Ace runs a hand through his hair, stunned. "What the hell did I just sign up for?" Sabrina's eyes narrow, her tone cutting. "I'm still waiting for an answer. Who? How do you know all this?" Clayton demands. "Because my planet is neurally linked to me," Bruteshot explains, his voice edged with reluctance. "It's essentially a living computer, holding endless knowledge gathered from countless civilizations. That stone fragment she carries doesn't react to just anyone. Sue doesn't flinch." "So what are you really saying?" "Apparently I have to spell out everything for you," Bruteshot snaps. "The engineered genes in your blood are the only reason you're even alive holding that power." His gaze shifts to Sabrina. He jabs a finger at her. "And you're not just enhanced. You're essentially a god. You just don't realize it yet. Silence. Ace mutters, half sarcastic, half serious. Okay, wow. Maybe lead with that next time. We're not experts in cosmic magic, so if we weren't enhanced, we'd be consumed by your own power and reduced to nothing. Bruteshot cuts in. Instantly, then a sinister smile spreads across his face. And thanks for letting me stall this long. Sabrina narrows her eyes, then slowly lowers her blade as the others begin to turn away. In a sudden blur, Bruteshot lunges. His mangled left cannon tries punching Sabrina, but she blocks with the burning sword. Metal screeches as it ruptures, the shockwave hurling her backward. She slams into the dirt, her blade skidding out of reach. I knew I should have killed you, she spits. Bruteshot staggers upright, fury blazing in his eyes. His remaining cannon hums with deadly light. Everyone stands on high alert. Chapter 5-2. The Awakening. Sabrina rises, staring down the glowing barrel of Bruteshot's last working cannon. This blast will level the city, Bruteshot bellows. Now you'll see why I am truly invincible. Clayton fires back, his tone sharp with logic. Look at your left arm. The circuitry's fried and wide open. Fire a shot that big and you'll blow yourself apart. Bruteshot only laughs, smug and cruel. You think that matters? I can always return to the metallic world Draken forged me on. There, I'll be repaired, reborn. I can never die. Too bad the same can't be said for you. Sabrina glances at her friends, her grip tightening on her sword. Determination flares in her eyes. Over my dead body, and I'm not done breathing. Bruteshot's cannon hums louder, the air vibrating with its power. His grin widens. Consider yourselves lucky. I'll only fire this next shot at 30%. Don't want to risk wiping out half the continent yet. Everyone grips their weapons tighter. The cannon glows hotter, the ground trembling beneath them. Now, this is the end for all of you. Sabrina unleashes a barrage of glowing orbs, each one slamming into Bruteshot in a chain of violent explosions. Fire and smoke swallow his hulking frame, but when the haze clears, his armor gleams untouched. Bruteshot throws back his head, his laughter booming like thunder. Pathetic insects. Now feel the power of true invincibility. His cannons blaze, glowing a furious red as waves of heat ripple off his body. Sue stumbles back, panic edging her voice. That heat, it's already unbearable. Nothing will survive that blast. With a furious roar, Barry unleashes another spiraling inferno, dark flames tearing across the ruined park. The fire slams into Bruteshot, only to vanish harmlessly against his armor, absorbed like smoke in the wind. Bruteshot chuckles darkly, his voice booming. 27%! This little game has been amusing, but all good things must come to an end. Ace, Sue, Clayton, and Robert stand frozen in horror, powerless before the growing storm. Robert whispers, "So this is how it ends." Sue gasps suddenly. "Wait, where's Sabrina?" Clayton looks up. High above, Sabrina stands atop a ruined skyscraper, the wind whipping around her. "I only get one shot," she mutters, heart pounding. "I have to make it count." Below, Bruteshot boasts. 28%. Invincibility overrides everything. "Invincibility, my foot," Ace shouts. "You're nothing but a giant rust bucket." Bruteshot throws his head back in laughter, oblivious. Sabrina sprints across the rooftop and leaps. She plummets like a meteor, gravity dragging her faster, harder. Her sword cocks back, glowing brighter with every heartbeat. 29%, Bruteshot roars. "One more minute, and you'll all be vaporized." As she falls, Sabrina erupts with a white aura. Her hair burns white, her blade blazes like a star. With a thunderous crash, she drives her sword through the top of Bruteshot's head. Circuits scream, his cannon overloading as sparks tear across his armor. Sabrina wrenches the blade free and leaps back. Her hair fades to purple. The aura dissipates. Bruteshot staggers, smoke pouring from his frame. What did you do to me? He drops to his knees, clutching at his ruined cannon. His entire body begins to glow red, expanding with unstable energy. Sabrina's eyes widen. He's going to blow. Everyone move now. They sprint for the bridge as Bruteshot's voice echoes after them, ragged and furious. This can't be. The city erupts in a cataclysmic blast. The shockwave tears across the ruins, a crimson light consuming everything in its path. Sabrina and the others stumble across the bridge, diving into cover by Ace's truck as the explosion rips behind them. A thunderous crater smolders where the city of smoke once stood. The survivors rise slowly, staring at the devastation. A thick plume of black smoke stains the sky. No sign of Bruteshot remains. Barry exhales hard, disbelief in his voice. What just happened? Sabrina stares down at her sword as its glow finally fades, her grip tightening around the hilt. Ace breaks the silence with a crooked grin. Well, we won, and apparently Sabrina's a god now. Clayton's expression hardens. He's gone. But this isn't over. We need to find Draken. Fast. Chapter 5-3. Hide and Seek. The spaceship reappears, hovering above the haven. The settlement sprawls in ruins. There are small, broken houses, cracked streets, and weary survivors. Locals look skyward in shock. What's that? One villager whispers. Is that the Alliance of Darkness? Maybe they've come to destroy us, another cries. Draken and Jason descend from the warship's entrance, landing with eerie grace. Havoc follows, crashing down on one knee, the impact blasting a crater into the earth. Draken towers over the gathering humans, Havoc just a shade shorter but no less menacing. Jason steps forward, his body wreathed in radiating black energy, his powers guiding their path. This is it, he says darkly. I felt abnormal frequencies here. The Harpoonian is hiding in this place. Draken pulls both stones from his robes and lets them fall to the ground, their glow bathing the cracked earth. Gasps ripple through the crowd. A sinister smile spreads across his face. Attention, weaklings. I am here for the Harpoonian. Many years ago, it took possession of a human host. That host is here, in this village. Bring them to me. His eyes flare with cruel light, or you will all be reduced to ash. The villagers glance at one another, confusion and fear mingling. The word Harpoonian means nothing to them. They know of someone among them, a woman with unexplainable healing powers. Guns are raised, barrels aimed at the Alliance. Draken chuckles. He crosses his arms. Worthless humans and their toys. Not worth the air in their lungs. Havoc folds his massive arms. Let's hurry this along. My patience is running thin. We don't know what a Harpoonian is, a man cries out. Draken's eyes begin to glow, casting a sinister light. The crowd trembles under his gaze. An elderly man finally steps forward, his body shaking but his voice desperate. Wait, please spare us. I think I know who you're looking for. Outrage erupts from the villagers. Traitor, someone shouts. The old man glares back at them. Even with guns, we don't have a choice if we want to survive. Draken smiles slowly. Smart move. On the edge of the haven sits a decrepit two-story house. Inside, two young women peek through cracked windows. Sarah, caramel-skinned and sharp-eyed, peers out nervously. Behind her stands Diana, the human host of the Harpoonian. She is taller, slender, with golden skin and silky hair. For 5 years, Sarah has hidden her here, bringing her here as its healer. Now they watch in silence from the second floor, every door in the house barred. "So that's the alliance," Sarah murmurs. "They are even more terrifying in person." Diana says nothing, her face pale with concern. Back in the center of the haven, Draken steps toward the trembling man and seizes him by the throat, hoisting him into the air as the crowd gasps. "Now speak," Draken growls, his eyes blazing with cruel light. His gaze sweeps over the villagers. "If anyone else feels like playing the hero, step forward, I dare you." The man stammers, words tumbling from his lips. "There is a healer here. She uses an ancient melody to cure the sick. She must be the one you seek." "Where is she?" Draken demands. "Promise me you'll spare my people first," the man pleads. "We can promise to slaughter every last one of them if you don't," Havoc snaps. The man shakes, overcome with terror. I saw her earlier, returning from the forest. I don't know exactly where she is." Draken cuts him off by snapping his neck and tossing him to the ground. The crowd erupts in horror. Draken's voice cuts through their cries like a blade. "Bring me the princess, or share his fate." Panic consumes the square. Villagers scatter in every direction, breaking into abandoned homes and tearing down walls in their frantic search. Jason watches them, his expression unreadable. Draken stands unmoving, arms folded, savoring the chaos. Havoc leans close, his voice low and eager. "It will be faster if we start killing them until she shows herself." "You may be right," Draken replies, his eyes glinting with malice. "But drawing her out, that is part of the fun." The cries of "Find her now" echo across the haven. Inside the crumbling house, Sarah turns from the window, panic etched across her face. "Princess, if we don't leave now, they will find us sooner or later." Diana shakes her head, her voice calm but weighted with sorrow. "If we run, they'll slaughter the villagers until I'm found. I won't let them die for me." Sarah swallows hard and nods, though her fear doesn't fade. Chapter 5 to 4. The Traveler. These powers. We have to find a way to draw out their full potential, Barry says, staring at the glowing triangle on his sword. "How were you using it back there against the Tin Man?" Ace presses, fire in his voice. "Unfortunately, we don't have the time to truly master it." Sabrina cuts in. "Not with the survivors of this world hanging on the edge of another extinction event," Clayton adds firmly. "Remember, both the Mystic Elder and Brute Shot mentioned a princess with the power to unlock the stones. The Alliance is probably searching for her right now. We need to find her before they do. Even with a truck, we'd never reach her in time," Robert mutters. The group falls silent. Fear flickers in their eyes. Sue's lips curve into a faint smile. "We aren't far from the Traveler. I don't know if he can help us track the Alliance, but he can at least get us across great distances." "Sabrina, with the way you just defeated Brute Shot, can't you use your powers to, I don't know, teleport us there?" Ace asks eagerly. She shakes her head. "Sorry. These powers don't exactly come with an instruction manual." They pile into Ace's truck and drive for half an hour before Sue guides them to a decaying building surrounded by a rusting gate. Slipping through, they circle the structure. On the other side, they find him, a middle-aged man with a long beard and a hood draped over his head. His tattered robe hangs loosely from his frame, bare feet planted on the cracked concrete. In front of him, a sputtering grill struggles to catch, the man fanning weak coals as he tries to cook strips of meat. "Let me handle this," Sue whispers, turning to the group. He may look human, but he isn't. Ace is curious. Really? Then what is he? No one knows. But his power is unlike anything I've ever seen before. Sue steps out. The traveler startles, then softens into a smile. Susanna, old friend, it's been far too long. He opens his arms for an embrace. Sue smiles and nods. Yes, too long. My friends and I need your help. We must travel a great distance in little time. Can you do it? The traveler rubs his chin. You know, I don't just open portals and ferry people around like I'm some kind of universal taxi. There are consequences when that power is abused. Ace bursts out from hiding, impatience flaring. How about this? If we don't get there soon, the human race, maybe the whole universe, is finished. Urgent enough for you? Sue shoots Ace a sharp look before turning back to the traveler. He's right. Both stones are already in the Alliance's hands. If your power can take us close, we might have a chance to stop them. The traveler studies her eyes, then finally nods. Okay, you win. He kneels and sweeps his hands across the cracked concrete. Sand pours from his palms in an endless stream, spreading in a perfect circle around them. The grains glow faintly blue, rippling like liquid under moonlight. A sudden wind kicks up, tugging at their clothes and hair as the circle rises, twisting upward into a swirling column. The crew watch in awe as the sand stretches skyward, particles fusing into a massive archway. Sparks of light flicker across its surface until, with a deafening crack, a portal materializes, its surface rippling like glassy water, pulsing with otherworldly energy. The traveler straightens, his robe swaying in the wind. I don't normally grant mortals passage through dimensions, he says, his voice low and weighted. But just this once, I'll bend the rules before anyone notices. Barry takes a cautious step forward, eyes wide. Who's anyone? He asks curiously. The traveler only smirks and turns his gaze back to the swirling portal, saying nothing. Ace stares in awe, a crooked grin tugging at his lips. How deep does this rabbit hole go? Sue bows her head, her voice calm but steady. Looks like we are about to find out. The traveler's voice sharpens. The portal will take you close to where you desire. But heed this. Never touch the sand walls. Touch them, and you'll be trapped in a dimension out of time. Forever. Everyone except Sue gasps. She steadies them with calm resolve. Don't worry. I've done this once before. Just stay clear of the walls, and you'll be fine. The traveler turns away, his expression unreadable as he walks off. As always, you were never here. Sue gives a firm nod. One by one, the group steps into the portal. The sand surges upward, spiraling faster and faster until the last of them disappears. Wind howls through the ruins as the portal collapses into silence. Inside, their bodies turn translucent, half-ghostly forms adrift in a spiraling tunnel of blue sand. The ground beneath them ripples like glass underwater. They grip their weapons tight, struggling to keep their balance as the current of energy threatens to sweep them into the walls. Barry's sword floats upward, dragging him closer to the shimmering wall. Don't touch the sand, Sue shouts. I'm trying not to, Barry yells back, straining. His sword slips. He tumbles backward, but Sabrina lunges, catching him with one arm. Her grip strains, her other hand balancing her glowing sword. The blue wall pulses inches from her skin. I've got you, she roars, but the force is too strong. Sabrina loses her grip on her sword. Both she and Barry slide into the wall and vanish. Sue, Clayton, Robert, and Ace reappear on cracked ground near the haven. A glowing sand circle etches itself into the dirt before fading. The four collapse, gasping like survivors of a violent storm. Robert staggers up, eyes wide with panic. "Wait, where's Sabrina? And Barry?" No answer. No sign of her. "They didn't make it?" Clayton breathes, disbelief choking his voice. Sue stares at the marking, her face pale. The walls. They must have touched the walls. Ace's jaw tightens. He turns toward the darkening sky. Explosions echo in the distance. "Looks like we found what we were looking for. The haven is under attack. We move now. Weapons ready." They run toward the sound of destruction. Chapter 5-5. Vengeance. The princess and her friend hide upstairs in the abandoned house. A thunderous bang slams against the front door below. Both of them jump. "Has anyone checked in here?" a villager shouts as others rush to help. Fists and boots hammer the door, but it refuses to budge. Outside, Draken watches their struggle with a smirk. Pathetic weaklings. His attention shifts when Jason suddenly leaps skyward. A mysterious force had tried to strike him. He twists in midair, dodges, and lands before Draken, glaring back at the place he stood. A thick plume of black smoke erupts from the ground. Villagers freeze, their search forgotten. Even Draken and Havoc step back, eyes narrowing. "What is this?" Draken demands, his voice echoing across the square. Jason thrusts out his hand, a psychic wave scattering the thick smoke. From the haze, Jungle emerges, arms folded, a cruel grin carved across his face. Draken's eyes narrow. "Well, look what crawled out of the garbage. I should have known." Jungle snarls, his claws lengthening into jagged purple talons. "You will all die for your betrayal." "Jungle?" Havoc blurts, stunned. "We thought you were dead." Draken's face hardens, disappointment cutting into his features. "You can't kill what refuses to die," Jungle hisses, eyes blazing. Jason frowns. "He has healing abilities?" Jungle's anger erupts, feral. "And now your debts must be paid in blood." Draken smirks, voice dripping with mockery. "You should have stayed hidden in whatever cave spawned you, Bigfoot." Jungle roars, fury igniting around him. "Bigfoot, huh? Then let me show you what he can do." He vanishes in a blur, reappearing in front of Jason and smashing him across the face with a colossal fist. Jason crashes through a house, buried under rubble, unconscious. Havoc charges at Jungle. His fist swings wide, but Jungle ducks with inhuman speed and counters with a crushing blow that hurls Havoc backward. "Now it's your turn." Jungle bellows at Draken, launching forward. Draken draws twin swords from his back. The slim blades expand into 4-foot sabers, crossing in an X to block Jungle's claws. Sparks flare on impact. With a sharp twist, Draken forces Jungle back, then slams one blade into the dirt. Die for real this time. A brilliant wave of light erupts, streaking toward Jungle. His claws glow, a shadowy double form wrapping his body. With a primal roar, he meets the attack head-on, slashing through the blast. The light is blinding. Villagers shield their faces. When the glow fades, the two clash savagely, claws and steel ringing across the square. Draken slaps Jungle across the face with a blade. Jungle retaliates with a claw swipe that barely turns Draken's head. Snarling, Draken rams his forehead into Jungle, houses collapsing from the shock. Havoc bursts back into the fray, slamming Jungle from the side. The beast crashes into the dirt, then rises again, his form convulsing. He begins to transform as his purple fur ripples across his body, claws lengthen, wings tear from his back. His face twists into a monstrous bat-like snarl, eyes glowing white. Havoc mutters, "That power." From the shadows of their window, Diana and Sarah tremble at the sight of his full transformation. Draken's voice cuts coldly through the chaos. "Enough, Jungle. I command you to stop." But Jungle only spreads his wings and roars, the ground shaking beneath him. Havoc braces beside Draken, fists clenched. "Incredible," Havoc breathes. "Pathetic," Draken says flatly. With another burst of speed, Jungle rockets toward them. Havoc leaps to intercept, fists smashing into Jungle's back as they soar into the sky. "You were underestimated," Havoc shouts midair. Jungle twists violently, flipping, and hurls him back toward the earth like a rag doll. Chapter 5 to 6, Ace Unlocked. Ace and the others are not far when the ground-shaking thunder of clashing titans reaches them. "That's a lot of power," Clayton shouts. Robert sprints ahead, glancing back. "Safe to say, we've found the Alliance." In the haven, Havoc lies battered in the dirt, his body broken from Jungle's relentless assault. Jungle lands beside him, towering, claws dripping with malice. "After I kill him," Jungle growls, turning his gaze to Draken. "You're next." Draken only grins. Jungle's heavy footsteps shake the ground, each one cracking the buildings around them. The decrepit house where Diana and Sarah hide finally gives way, its rotten beams snapping with sharp cracks. The men pounding on the door scatter just as the structure caves in. With a scream, the two women dive through the window, hitting the dirt as the house collapses behind them in a storm of dust and splinters. Gasps ripple through the villagers. "Look, there she is," someone shouts. The crowd surges, encircling Diana and Sarah with desperate eyes. "Willing to sell me out so easily?" Diana demands, her voice trembling but defiant. "I thought we stood strong in the face of evil." One villager steps forward, shame carved on his face. "Trading your life for the rest of the village. It's a small price to pay." "And you actually believe he'll spare you?" Sarah snaps, stepping in front of Diana. Her hands shake, but her voice cuts like steel. "If you want her, you'll have to go through me first." Draken's eyes narrow as he catches a faint glow radiating from Diana, a light only he can see. It confirms what he already suspects. The Harpoonian lives within her. A shadow sweeps across the grass. Draken drops from above, landing with a bone-shaking thud, his twin swords gleaming in the dim light. Diana flinches as his sinister grin stretches wider, hungry with certainty. "So this is who the Harpoonian chose as its host. About time you revealed yourself." His laugh cuts through the air like ice. Diana clenches her fists, standing tall despite the fear in her eyes. "If you think I'll help you unlock the stones, you're mistaken. Finish me if you must." "You talk as if you have a choice," Draken says smoothly. "We can do this the easy way, or the hard way." "Leave her alone!" a voice roars. Draken turns. Ace, Robert, Clayton, and Sue stand shoulder to shoulder, weapons raised. "You again?" Draken snarls. "Brute Shot was supposed to finish you off. If you want something done right, then you gotta do it yourself." Ace cuts in with a smirk. He glances at Clayton. "I already know how to use my powers. Time to see if I can bring out its full strength." Clayton gives a sharp nod. "Clear your mind. Meditate. Focus. True power rises from deep within." Ace closes his eyes, sword pointed down. Sparks crackle. Electricity surges across his body, lighting the ruins. "I feel it," Ace shouts. "The full depths of this power. It's rising clearer than ever." With a slash, he hurls a bolt of lightning that explodes at Draken's feet. The warlord doesn't flinch, blocking Diana with his blade. "I'm ending this now," Ace declares. Before Draken can respond, a roar shakes the air. Jungle comes crashing down, wings spread wide, rage boiling over. In an instant, Draken's twin swords impale him mid-charge. Too fast, Sue gasps. Draken leans close, voice sharp. Never underestimate your enemy, Jungle. He hurls the beast into a building, the rubble swallowing him whole. Draken turns back, smirking. My apologies. This city seems to have a bat problem. Ace scoffs. Funny, you're just as ugly as he is. Where's Jason? He demands. Draken smirks. Beat it out of me. The ground splits as Havoc attacks Jungle. Their battle reignites nearby, shockwaves rattling the square. Diana freezes, staring at the carnage until Ace snaps her out of it. Hey lady, get out of here. Diana nods quickly, grabbing Sarah. Come on, follow me, Clayton calls, ushering them toward the forest. Robert shouts, get them out safely. Ace and I will hold the line. Sue protests, what about you guys? We won't leave y'all behind. No time, Robert barks. Go. Clayton spots the missing stones, his face twisting. Forget them, Ace cuts him off. They're useless without her. Just move. Clayton grabs Diana's hand, pulling her toward the trees, Sue and Sarah close behind. Draken snarls, where do you think you're going? He lunges, but Ace blocks him with a surge of lightning. To get to them, you'll have to get through us, Ace shouts. Draken's laugh is low and cruel. Do you really think you can stop me? A shadow falls across them. Jungle returns, wings beating, fury blazing in his eyes. Today is not your day, Draken, Ace taunts. Looks like everyone wants you dead. Jungle snarls. You and your lackeys will die for betraying me. Ace steps forward, blade crackling with sparks. Sorry, but we're calling first dibs on his head. Draken smiles as he lifts his swords. This will be fun. Havoc staggers to his feet beside him, bloodied but burning with rage. I want to hear their bones snap, he growls. Ace's body crackles with a storm of lightning. Robert's sword gleams, steady in his hands. Jungle's claws glow, his monstrous wings spreading wide. The battlefield trembles. The true fight is about to begin. That concludes Chapter 5 of this 10-chapter journey. But trust me, the best is still ahead. Chapter 9 is one for the ages. To continue the story, head over to Amazon and grab the novel, Sabrina, The Fall of an Alliance. The adventure resumes in Chapter 6, where Jungle clashes with both Draken and Havoc in a brutal classic showdown, the unstoppable force versus the immovable object. And while that battle erupts, Sabrina and Barry have been locked outside of time itself. You have to see what happens to them next. The next few chapters are guaranteed to keep you on the edge of your seat. Thank you for listening.